Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the latest news on the unsuspected and unusual attack, missile attack conducted by the Russians in Kiev last night. According to the Ukrainians, the Russians launched 18 missiles during the nighttime on two little attacks, one between 2 and 3 and the other one 4 and 5, something like that. According to the Ukrainians, 6 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles were blown up by the Patriot, yay, by them, my friends. 9 were shot down, Caliber cruise missiles launched from the Black Sea by ships, and I think about 3 or 4 were launched by, they were Iskander M by S-400. This is what the Ukrainians said, that they shot down 100% of them. Good job. Well, if true. Now, obviously, this is coming from these guys. What do you think the other guys are saying? Well, they're going to come with a little bit of denial, but their denial is not entire. It's not like, oh, let me shoot any. Listen to this. I got 2 articles coming from 2 Russian sources, the same thing, and it's the Minister of Defense, Sergei Shoigu, talking about it. So let's start with Russia Today. It is from today, the 16th of May, 2023. Ukraine says it shoots down more missiles than Russia fires. Shoigu. Ukraine claims to intercept 3 times as many projectiles as Russia actually launches. The Russian defense minister has said, well, I wouldn't say that, because if I say that, that means you don't have missiles. That's exactly what those guys are claiming. Now, see what's going on here. So if it's 3, it's just 6. You launched 6 missiles, that's all you launched? I mean, what? If it's 18, what? 3 times as many? Whatever, that would be 18. Russian Defense Minister Shoigu has refuted, let's see how he refute, claims made by Ukrainian military officials about shooting down 6 Russian hypersonic Kinzhal missiles during overnight strikes on targets near the country's capital city of Kiev. Ukraine routinely exaggerates the effectiveness of its anti-aircraft defenses, primarily, and I'm quoting, intercepting incoming Russian munitions only with public statements, Shoigu told RIA Novosti. And I'm quoting, I have already said that, and I will repeat it again. We have not launched as many Kinzhals as they allegedly shoot down every time with their statements. Moreover, the number of these Ukrainian interceptions, end quote, and who really means the American anti-aircraft complexes there, is still a big question. Is 3 times as high as what we actually launch, end quote, Shoigu said. So it says here, and who really mans the American. So moreover, the number of these Ukrainian, I'm quoting, interceptions, and who really mans the American anti-aircraft complexes there is still a big question. You know what he means, right? It means that it's not the Ukrainians operating them, but because when it says mans, I thought operating. It's the Americans operating them, I'm guessing. The minister also said that Ukraine always misidentifies munitions used by Russia in its media statements, and I'm quoting, that's why they miss them, he added, without providing any further information on the number of missiles used in the latest barrage. So they say here that Moscow and Kiev has provided drastically different accounts of what happened overnight. Kiev claimed that it had shot down 6 state-of-the-art hypersonic missiles over the capital, as well as other incoming projectiles, using a battery of the US-made Patriot air defense system. The Russian military, however, said the battery was successfully hit by a Kinzhal missile. Footage available online shows multiple anti-aircraft missiles going towards an unseen target, with at least 2 explosions seen at the site from which they appear to be launched. I made a video on this one. Maybe this clarifies that everything you see over there is just shooting up, and then boom, explosions. So the Western media report suggested the Patriot battery is in question was likely damaged in the strike, according to CNN, citing an unidentified U.S. official. I covered that as well. Washington is currently assessing the extent of the damage in order to determine whether the Patriot needs to be pulled back or whether on-site repairs by Ukrainian forces would be enough. So, obviously the Russians also have doubts that is the Ukrainians operating the Patriot systems as the HIMARS, and the fact that I covered in a previous video before this one, I think before the other one, because it was a Prigozhin article and a Green Beret that was killed in Bakhmut. That was the video that I covered before this one. I made a video regarding that two articles on that subject. The Russians always said that it's not the Ukrainians operating it, it's someone else, and the White House denied. They did not confirm that battery, Patriot system battery, was damaged, destroyed. Why would you ask the White House? The White House should not have anything to do with the Patriot systems that were donated to the Ukrainians to be operated by Ukrainians only, right? So why do you ask the Americans? Why would you ask, hey, is it true that your boys died over there while operating that? Basically, that's why they don't say it, but I say it. Oh, no. The Patriot were not destroyed. How would you know? How would you know unless you are very much involved in it? Or do you think that Ukrainians are gonna, Daddy, I lost the car key. I can find it. Oh, in my ass? I didn't check. Oh, I found it, Daddy. Do you think that's how it was? Anyway, let's go to the other article here from Sputnik. The same. Shoigu rejects Ukrainian claims of downing of 6 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. The same thing here. And they say that's why they don't hit them, because they mistake the types of missiles all the time. Now, I don't know what that is. And it says that, moreover, the numbers of these Ukrainian interceptions and who really controls, see here is, over there they use the word men, and here who really controls, not men's, that's what threw me off over there, man. Who really controls the US complexes is still a big question. I don't think it's a big question. I can tell you, give me a call, and I'll tell you in a second who's doing that. Why? Because I think I'm allowed to have gut feelings as well, if you know what I mean. I am 99% certain in my crazy head, that those Patriot systems are not operated by the Ukrainians. And to give me a little way out, entirely. That means the Ukrainians probably pump, inflate the tires of the batteries. Maybe they're the ones who clean it, those guys who help the Americans climb inside. Step here. Come on, Johnny, do it. Here, Johnny. Or maybe they just lay down and those guys are stepping on their backs. How it used to be on the horses when you saddle with the kings and all that. The bad kings, not these kings. So, even though these guys said, oh, we trained those guys, they said they need about 6 months to train them on Patriot systems. And the Ukrainians were geniuses, and somehow they did it in 3 months. And after in 3 months, they just gave them $1.1 billion equipment to some Ukrainians. They were trained in 3 months. They were experts, man. In 3 months, they were experts. Just gave it the units. Do you believe that? I don't. Am I allowed? Am I allowed to say I don't believe it? They don't convince me? I'm not convinced whatsoever. On the contrary, I think they're lying. Am I allowed to do this in the free world or not? Well, anyway, pretty soon they're gonna ask us, hey, did they shoot any? No, they didn't shoot anything. No. And if you say the other way, they're gonna arrest you 5 years, put you in jail like in Germany, for having questions about certain kind of events. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.